Welcome back to the Imperfect Drummer and Imperfect Labs. Today I'm doing a quick video on how to set up multi-layer sounds on an SY77 and actually trigger them all at the same time. Normally on an SY77 you can play one patch at a time unless you're using an external Midi source or you loop the Midi out and back in, which you can do. I'll put up a little diagram. You can actually run the Midi out into a Midi converter or into a computer or an iPad and route so that when you play on the internal, it comes out channel 1 and goes back in channels 2, 3, 4, whatever, all at the same time. But what I've got set up is an M-Audio KeyStation Pro 88 that I customized the outside of, which is kind of cool. You can see some of the blue in the background. Anyway, and I have the 4 zones set up to play out Midi channel 1, 2, 3, and 4, so I can turn off and on each of those zones. Then on the iPad I'm running, well, first of all, that would work on its own, but I'm actually running it in USB interface mode, which would kill the keyboard entirely. So I'm actually running, I can't remember the name of this app, Audio Bus, is that what it is? I can't believe I can't remember it. Yeah, Audio Bus. And all I'm doing is taking out, so here, let me turn this off and turn it back on. The KeyStation has 2 ports, 2 virtual ports, 1 real port. Port 1 comes in and it's the keyboard. Port 2 is the MIDI port. So what I'm doing is taking port 1 in and sending it out port 1, which is the MIDI port out. What that does is lets me put the M-Audio in USB MIDI adapter mode and still use the keyboard. Otherwise, you'd hear nothing if I played the keys. It just wouldn't work. And what I want to be able to do is play the keys and make changes to the sound. So what you're seeing here this is a multi. So you've got regular voice patches, but you've got a multi-patch, and then the multi is made up of up to 16 regular voice patches. Now the keyboard's only got 32 note polyphony, so you can run out of notes pretty fast. But what I've got here is a patch I called pads, and instead of turning off and on, I could turn these off and on, but I'm going to do it at the keyboard so you can see. Sorry, I've got this kind of jury rigged. This was a last minute thing. I just hit the camera with my head, so let me, you know what, no, I'm going to leave all 4 zones on the keyboard so you can hear all of them, and then I'm going to turn them off and on from here instead of bothering with the keyboard because it's a little bit out of my reach from where my microphone is. I'm going to try to stretch my mic a little farther. Okay. So I'm going to play a chord, and it's going to play all 4 channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, all at the same time, triggering into the SY77. Now what it's doing, okay, you'll notice these, I changed it, so you're going to see a quick edit in there. 1 and 2 are group 1, 3 and 4 are group 2. The pan mode is set to whatever the voice uses, and I've got different volumes. So group 1 is coming out one set of stereo outputs, and group 2 is coming out another set of stereo outputs. So there's actually 4 complete outputs on here, and you can do all kinds of interesting things with that. But so let me, I'm actually going to pan 1 and 2 on one side and 3 and 4 on the other, so we'll be able to hear kind of what that does. So this should come out of one side. Yeah. So group 1 is panned to the right. Alright, and then here's number 2. They're kind of similar. Here's number 3. Now, I don't remember setting that one up. And I'm not sure you can hear it that well, and here's 4. So then if we turn them all on, now I don't really like this one, so if I tap on it in patch bass, I can change it. Right now it's on a one of the presets. I'm going to go to internal, and let me turn off the other ones. I'm also going to, I'll leave the panning the way it is. So for some reason, there it goes. So you can do this in real time. That was pretty good, but it might be too loud. So let's put them all back on. I'm going to put the panning back in the center. One of those really rings out. So now I'm going to tap these, and let's just pick. There, we got some lefts and some rights. So you can see you can get some pretty cool. There's a bit of a crackle, and I'm not sure what's causing that. I think it might be my system, though. It's possible it's one of the patches. So let's go back to 1. See, it's not... And I do have effects on these, but it's not all that interesting for just one of them. We can bump the volume of the different ones. See, Dana pad is really loud. Yeah. Let's switch this to a different... Alright. So we can turn these off. Let's see if I've got another softer pad. Oh, it's got noise and stuff in it. We put a flute in there. And then pitch the note down. So let's take it down 12. Let's see what that does. That's a little bit of texture. Or if you want a little bit of a, let's do Clouds. Clouds has a very much Korg M1 sound to it. No, let's pitch it back up. Pull that down a little bit, go to the effects. Yeah, we've got a bunch of reverb on here. Could do, let me change this to, and put this on. Let's see how that does. Yeah, delay doesn't work too well on this, but let's see. There's a tunnel reverb. Oh, there. certain effects are better than others. Let me turn this off. Yeah. And I'll add some effects in Logic. Alright. Let me put this back. So then if I want to save this, I can write it back, or I can just go to the SY77, punch exit until I see quit or go, hit go, and then hit yes, and it will save it. So I'm going to reach over there and do that. There we go. Except I bumped it. I bumped a letter, and so now it's quads instead of pads. But I can change sounds and come back, and it should keep what we had. Yep. Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. You can use any kind of editor, including the front panel. But I just think it's cool that with an external MIDI controller, or actually, let me show you how to do the routing, since it's kind of cool. So I'm going to turn off all the zones. No, I shouldn't have to. All right, hang on. So you can do this. I'm going to quit this. You can do this straight with Audio Bus without any extra adapters, I believe. So if I turn off MIDI mode, hang on. All right. And then I turn off. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm forgetting what I'm doing. Okay, so no, I do want MIDI mode on. Okay, I'm not going to touch the M audio. I just want to play the SY77. Well, right now, it's only going to play MIDI channel 1. So if I bring in, and we're dealing with port 2. If I bring in port 2, channel 1, actually, let me see if I bring in port 2 and send it right back out port 2, if it'll play all of them. Or send it back out port 1. No. Okay. So we're going to play channel 1, out port 2, and we're going to tell it to play channel 2. Yep, now we have 2 of them. So now we're going to play channel 1. It just converted. And now we're going to tell it to play channel 3. And so the keyboard is normally playing channel 1. Now it's playing channel 2, channel 3. Oop, sorry. I did that backwards. Playing out channel 1, because that's all it's sending out. And trigger channel 4. So now I have it. The internal is playing channel 1 to channel 1. It's sending out channel 1 going back in 2, channel 1 going back in 3, and channel 1 going back in 4. There's no sound going through the iPad. All it's doing is routing MIDI. And then I'm going to play on the SY77, and it should play all 4. Yep. So that's one way to do it. You could just buy a little MIDI merger box, like one of the CMEs where you can program it. But this works pretty well. Of course, then you could also use your iPad as a secondary sound source or whatever, but pretty handy. You might even be able to do this with a phone. I have not tried that, running it on an iPhone. I mean, theoretically you could. It would be smaller. Anyway, that's all I've got. Hopefully that wasn't confusing. I think it's pretty cool what you can do with the SY77. There's just so many different sounds. I'll make another video when I have more time. Thanks for watching, and come back for more.